I'm just going to pick up on this one where I left off and try to make this short. Mind control is a murder weapon. It has nothing to do with mental illness. And the fact that, excuse me, kids are uh, being programmed in their decision making, their real behavior modified. And believe me, the media knows this right here in Roanoke, in Huntsville, in um, Atlanta, Georgia. I'm on YouTube, for God's sakes. You don't have to take my word for it anymore. You won't see the ones that are done, how it's done in patterns, the murders I'm talking about. But you will you can to just Google YouTube and mind control, or Google mind control and MK Ultra, etc. Now I want to get to this one that I was talking about when I was put out of my apartment and I went camping. There's a point to this, and this is what I said about Noe. The agent said they made it so ludicrous. Troutdale is just out on the way to Buchanan and the National Forest, where I went to a campground, a cute one. It's woodsy and has privies, but good water, and has a trout stream right beside the campsite that I had. And you got the name Travel. My post office is there, been there for 15 years, I guess, at least. And then you got Delville, that's just around the corner on 220 going toward Fincastle. And you've got Cloverdale. So what they've done here is in Troutdale, Oregon, is that they have combined the trout and the dale, as in Troutville, but Daleville. They put the trout in the dale. Now I want to get into the young fellow that was shot. I don't usually there's the names also and the time and the date, etc. Are part of the patterns. I will say this, that they've told you right here, and I'm not going to go any further who's doing this, because I've been through hell, and so has my family. And then to find out some of my family, the Windsors, were part of my kidnapping and part of the very people who did this to me and to the British. They sold out Great Britain. So I'm just going to, tonight, I'm going to put it this way. Tonight, Criminal Minds comes on. It's Wednesday. One of my favorite programs. Now, the Criminal Minds is out of Quantico, Virginia. And they do profiling. And back when I was trying to tell everybody about Wayne Williams and the black murders there, this was back when I was doing the book when Larry Flint actually was shot. Warren and Rosanna Matthews, pathologist, and at Larry McDonald's Hospital, etc. But actually, this was used once before, and it's just a slightly different. They withheld supposedly shooter's name until tonight. I will say this: people find it hard and don't want to accept the fact that this young fellow that's called a shooter that ended up shooting himself and dying, he's a victim of mind control. He had no idea what was being done to him, or that he was going to end up shooting someone or shooting himself. Now, that it could happen to your kid or you, because you're not immune to it. So you can hate him all you want to. But my thing, after all these years, I'm 75 years old, I've heard so many people lie, and I've been called names when everybody knew I was telling the truth. I had enough on me, and they knew it. But anyway, so they've actually told you here. The Jared, I don't make anything of that, but the Paget is a different spelling. But actually what they've done, and they did this in one other of the mind control murders, they've actually taken the name of Paget Brewster off of Criminal Minds. She was one of the profilers on there. And so in essence, they're telling you. And they've done it before in some of by using these characters and the names on Criminal Minds. because that's exactly who has done it. But exactly who's done it is the people have allowed it to happen. It's the people that did it to me. Um, you did, and that's about all I have to say about it. But that's the young fellow who's dead, who did the was under mind control to do the shootings. He spelled his name Jared Michael. Well, Michael was the name of the agent down there in Atlanta, but a lot of people are named Michael. But the Paget, he spelled his Paget, and her first name was Paget. But that's exactly it with the name of the Troutdale, and the fact that it's an ongoing, and it's not going to stop until the media decides to tell the truth about me, which I understand I was told while I was camping. The hosts down there were from this area, and they're very versed on all of this. Everybody around here knows what's happened to me and what I'm telling, and they, quite frankly, they'd rather just let me take the brunt of it. But she told me, she's in a indirect kind of way. She says, you realize that it would rock the world of the financial and everything if the truth is told about me and my kidnapping and the horrific crimes that were done to me, my children, Mark and Scott, my mom and dad, who were beautiful people who was taken down illegally, everything stripped from them, and trying to get my father trying to get me back, his daughter, and my mom running with me. I happen to know that part. She ran with me to Georgia, her sister, who was at Ghost Ranch. And by the way, out in near Santa Fe, and I want to say this because Daniel Craig did a movie out. Georgia is dead. She was the older sister, the artist, and of course they're long gone. And Ghost Ranch, I don't know, the Hamilton run one Hamilton tied it up illegally. So I don't know what's become of it now, but I do know that Daniel Craig, and they don't make movies on her ranch that I know of. As far as I know, that's the only one that's ever been made there. It was Aliens and something, but it was the 007, Daniel Craig, like a clue to my identity on my aunt's ranch. And I did the book in Marietta, and it was Moonraker Apartments. And it was later, and the name of the book was MD, A License to Kill. Now, it was just a couple of years later that came out with Roger Moore, a 007, came out with Moonraker, a movie, and then A License to Kill was Timothy Dalton, and I believe that's the only 007 movie he made. But anyway, that's it, and I guess over and out.